Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This is the fourth video I've recorded wearing this top, so if you think you've already seen this video before, you haven't, don't worry. So this is also part of a series of where I talk about books that have influenced me throughout my life, so I'm a keen bookworm. And this one is, again, probably one of the most important books I've ever read. And I read this book when I was in year 9 because it was given to us by the school and we did like a whole year on it. And during this time I was going through a bit of a rough phase and I was questioning why I was different to everyone else and why I couldn't settle in as well. And I'd been out of school for 3 years by then, and I was in complete turmoil, and then we read this. So it's called The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, and it's by Mark Haddon. Mark Haddon's also written a couple of other books I need to read, so don't request those books yet. If you've not heard this book, you've probably been living under a rock. The premise is this book is written from the perspective of a 15-year-old boy with Aspergers. If you've watched a couple of my other videos, you'll know that I'm on the spectrum, and Christopher, the boy in the book, if you imagine I'm here, so this is like normal, I'm very much here. Christopher is probably about here. So he really struggles with human interaction, but he's a complete genius at maths. He loves string tie. He is your typical Asperger's boy. So the blurb is, The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime is a murder mystery novel like no other. The detective and narrator is Christopher Boom. Christopher is 15 and has Asperger's syndrome. He knows a very great deal about maths and very little about human beings. He loves lists, patterns and the truth. He hates the colours yellow, brown and being touched. He's never gone further than the end of the road on his own, but when he finds a neighbour's dog murdered, he sets out on a terrifying journey which will turn his world upside down. And it does, and you'll get gripped by this book. It's also been made into a play by the National Theatre. It's currently running in London, I think, at the moment, but I think it's coming up to its last days if it's not ended yet, so if you can, go and see it. So the book is very unique in a couple of ways actually. So all the chapters are prime numbers. So this is the first chapter, and then I'm just going to turn to a random page. This is chapter 61, but in reality it's only probably about chapter 3. No, it won't be chapter 3. Oh, you can work out. I'm not good at maths. So yes, so it's an incredibly written book, and then it's very quirky in its nature. So I'm going to try and find the page. So this is the page where Christopher talks about numbers, and there's a lot of diagrams to illustrate what he's talking about. And then he talks about how when he talks to his kind of one-on-one worker at school, she tries to explain how people kind of react to things and how to read people's facial expressions. And of course it's at the front. So this is the page that's set out, and it's kind of describing like a little paper thing for Christopher, for him to look and go, oh, okay, that's that. But he quickly learns that human faces do not just keep to those 4 facial expressions. When I was reading this book, we also had to do a lot of research into autism, and I remember sitting there and going, that sounds a lot like me, but it also doesn't, but I think it does. And for me, this book became the first step on, so I was, I think I was 15 at this point, so same age as Christopher, 15, on a 3-year journey to get my diagnosis of Asperger's. And for me, this book it was like a little comfort blanket, because it was like, this is so key to who I am. I really would recommend reading it. The detail and the kind of, I'm going to say vibe, but yeah, you get from the book, it places you directly in the mind of Christopher, and you can experience how intense everything is for him. So there's a page where he talks about being on the underground and all the signs around the underground, and so what it would look like to you and me is probably something like this. Come on, Come on, camera. And to him, it looks something like this. Focus on it. So you really do get the feeling, and where are we going? There we go. And the stage show does a lot like that. So it actually immerses you in this hypersensitivity world, especially when we get to the underground section. And it's not my favourite part of the play because there's a lot of flashing lights, there's a lot of loud music, there's a lot of banging. It's just kind of like, I struggle to deal with this anyway, and now you're putting me in an environment. But I can't stress how much of a good book it is. And if you get the chance to read it, if you get a chance to go and see the stage production, go and see it because you will not regret it. So yeah, that's The Curious Incident of Zog in the Night Time. Thank you very much for letting me ramble on about something that I'm very passionate about. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more videos. Please feel free to comment on any videos that you want to see. So yes, thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.